drastically affect your microbiome, and I also want you guys to take into consideration these changes and how that affects your microbial community. Okay, so some background information is your gut microbial community is greatly affected by your genetics, your gender, your age, your sex, your lifestyle, your culture, blah, 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 blah. But it's also affected primarily by your diet, and it's a major contribution to the changes in your gut microbial community. And why that is because it determines what kind of substrates are available for your body to process and consume. And one of the most and well-studied substrate are carbohydrates, because they're found literally in every single meal and we consume it daily. So it's going to be very abundant. And another substrate that has been studied before are called polyphenols, and you don't really need to know the nits and grits of that, but that influences the composition and the function of your gut microbiome. Okay. So recent research has revealed that the vital role of the gut microbiome in many human disease. So your gut microbial community changes due to disease states. Say you have inflammatory bowel disease, colorectal cancer, or cardiovascular disease, and it changes due to a lot of things such as your genetics, your gender, and the aforementioned aspects, but as well as your diet. And all right. Okay. So you're probably wondering, how are we able to do all of these crazy things? And thanks to genomics, it has revolutionized the way we analyze the microbial community. We are literally able to take your fecal matter, and I know that sounds really disgusting, but we take your fecal matter and we break it down into, we isolate the bacteria within that poop matter, and we take the genes from the bacteria and analyze them that way. Does that make sense? So we are able to look at who's there and what relative abundance they are, and we are also able to look at the types of genes that the bacteria have and their relative abundance, and as well as metaproteomics, which is a really fancy word to describe what genes are expressed at that exact moment in time of fecal matter extraction. Okay, so we are able to do a lot just from genomics, and it gives us an insight on things that we cannot physically see. Okay, so from all of that data, we can create pretty charts like these ones down here. This one is a relationship between the microbiota of 531 healthy children and adults from Malawi, Amazonia states of Venezuela, and US. And I want you guys to take a moment to look at these graphs. I know you might not have a substantial background information on this, but just take a few moments to look at these graphs and kind of like discuss amongst your neighbors what you think they mean and what their implications are.